This is a simple example of the negative exponent, and remember the negative exponent simply says it's in reciprocal. So this literally is saying there are 3 factors of 5 in reciprocal. That simply means 1 divided by 5 to the third. So the negative exponent simply means it's in the bottom of the fraction. So I should again probably call this 1 over 125. And usually anything less than, maybe 400 or 500, if it works out as something you might could do in your head or something that's a reasonably small number, they change it from the exponential form to the standard numeral. So that's the best form for that. The real key to notice is that this is an exact rendering of this rule here, that a negative exponent means simply that it's in the bottom of the fraction. So that's just 3 factors of 5 in the bottom of the fraction. Problem over. This next one could be done a couple of different ways, and if we take the previous problem as a pattern, then it simply says I'm going to take these 3 factors of 3 halves and put it in the bottom of a fraction, so it would look like that. So this is considered an improper form. This is called a complex fraction. It's a fraction within a fraction. And complex fractions are never considered to be a simplest form. So this is kind of the power rule, where I understand that these are first powers. So I'm doing the power of power rule, where I now call this 1 over 3 to the third power over 2 to the third power. And the power of powers rule simply is to multiply the exponents. You saw that in a previous problem. So 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So 3 to the third over 2 to the third. And again, I should probably call that a 27 over an 8. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. But this is still a complex fraction, meaning it's still a fraction inside of a fraction. And the way I get out of it is to say this. I have 1 divided by 27 eighths. Remember that every fraction is a division problem. Top divide by bottom. 1 divided by 27 eighths. And the rule that you learn in 6th grade for division of fractions is the flip and multiply, invert and multiply. So it becomes 1 times 8 over 27, and 1 times 8 over 27 is simply the fraction 8 over 27. And so that would be considered the simplest form. Notice that while it was up here in the complex fraction form, a fraction within a fraction, that's not considered to be an acceptable answer. Down here it is. Now, the shortcut anytime you see a negative exponent on a fraction is just to flip the fraction, meaning the application of the negative says just flip that fraction. Instead of being 3 over 2, call it 2 over 3, and now raise that fraction to the third power. So that would be 2 to the third, which is 8, divided by 3 to the third, which is 27, and I get the same answer in a much quicker way. So the quickest way to think of applying a negative exponent onto a fraction is that it flips the fraction. You might see this rule over here done the same way. If I consider that as an a over 1, the negative exponent simply flips the a over 1 into a 1 over a, and then it applies the power to both. However, notice that the power 1 raised to any power is still 1. That is, 1 to the third power is 1 times 1 times 1, and that's still 1. 1 to the 10th power would be 1 times 1 times 1 times blah, 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 still equals 1. So you could consider it also that way. So I'll stop there, and the next 2 problems will be on the next movie.